Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Plug you in, my tuning up frequency. Jett and the crew, they got the remedy. Discussing Bats and all his legacy. Mike is silent. Welcome to the social hour. We're talking gospel, flying power. Look in the field of protest, got the keys to the Batmobile. Lights go down the shots about to start. Chance with instructing Dr. Dawn. Without ways of harm. We're in deep, not sleep. Welcome to the social hour. Exploring Gotham's darkest hours. Tune in, feel the charge. Jett set the hill with throwing large.
Well, welcome to the Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast. Batman on Film, Batman-on-film.com. Heading into year number 27. This is episode number 188 of the Social Hour. I'm the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Ramey. That's right. Pete Verra. That's right.
27 years. Not bad for a Texas
27
hour.
years come 2025.
Wow. It's been a long time, Bill. You've been around for a while.
The end is closer to closer than the beginning.
There is no
say
end.
that.
There is no end. There's no end to Batman. There's no end to Batman on film.
There's no end to Batman. Certainly not.
As long
Batman
as
on
they keep
film,
making movies, you're going to keep
see.
banging that drum.
We'll see.
We just need you just need a good old fashioned bad Batman movie to get Bill back on the drum banging wagon and to get kicking. It's just that's not in the foreseeable future, but
hopefully that doesn't happen. But I'm not rooting. for
otherwise,
bad
we just
Batman
enjoy the
movies.
ride.
We'll see what the future holds for Batman on Film. I am not only is Batman on Film will be 27 come 2025. I will be 60 years old come 2025. I was 32 when I started Batman on Film.
Wow.
I was younger than you are right now.
Yes, you are.
When all that started.
Web TV.
That's true.
Back in the day.
That is true. Yeah. Of course, I got to get some weather talk in. What's it like there in North Brunswick, New Jersey?
It's like a little influx, little rain, little
What's the
getting
temperature?
a little colder. Temperature. It was in the 40s, I think, yesterday.
God damn, we beat you. It was 30 degrees here this morning.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I haven't been outside yet today, but usually it's getting cold out there. You wake up, there's a little bit of frost on the grass. It's definitely not summer.
I talked to you since Thanksgiving.
I don't think so. Not here.
At
least not here.
That's what I mean on Social Hour. How was Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was good. It was good. I got my turkey necks in, a little cranberry, some mashed taters, some Chicago ribs. Had those as a specialty. All the standard Thanksgiving treats.
So what standards, what to you is, what would be on a standard Thanksgiving dinner spread? Besides turkey, dressing,
potatoes,
stuffing
/ dressing. Yeah. Candied yams.
Okay. Green bean casserole.
Yeah. Any kind of casserole, green bean, broccoli, whatever you got. At least you got to have one, right? I feel like that's it. Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese has become I feel like mac and cheese used to be very niche back in the day, and it's become it's just a standard. I feel like it's really completely.
I did the old meatchurch.com unsolicited plug.
Mm-hmm.
I did their smoked brisket mac and cheese recipe again. I'm telling you, man.
I know Garrett was telling me he tried this new vegan Brussels sprout mushroom mold in turkey thing. It's not actually turkey. It's just like tofu. He told me he had that for Thanksgiving, which I found interesting.
I am not.
I don't know how good that goes with gravy.
That's been a troll going on for a while now, huh?
But I have no idea, Joe. I think he has a very strict vegan diet because of the gout.
The gout. He's a hot dish man.
He is a hot dish man. He is a hot dish. He's a hot dish himself. All like 7'6" of him.
Yeah. My new bowl.
That sounds like Minnesota. So yeah.
Okay. All right. It's like I got to be a character in one of the episodes of Fargo. All right. Yeah. I did not go to the Cowboy game. First time in about 20 years. Not because
you made some money.
This. I did. I sold 4 tickets. My 4 tickets sold. It was just logistics this year. And yeah, I put them on the marketplace. They sold. It was weird to watch the Thanksgiving game on TV because I haven't. And like,
but they won, right? They beat the Giants.
They won, beat the Giants. Yeah.
They should.
So yeah. But I did I did the cornbread dressing, of course. And I told you about the mac and cheese, but I got the turkey, they call them also turkey roast, turkey tender. It's basically they just fillet the breast out of the turkey. And then I marinated that in Shiner Bach and some other spices overnight. Then I smoked them and they were good. It was good stuff.
I love Thanksgiving, man. I'm a big fan of it. I feel like it doesn't get enough respect, to be honest with you. I feel like a lot of people just kind of get past it and get on to Christmas.
You make the day after? Do you make one? Do you make a Thanksgiving or holiday sandwich?
Oh, I do that like 4 hours after dinner.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you put you gotta have.
And then you take the carcass, you make some good old soup and stock out of it.
Yeah, you get
that's the best part of Thanksgiving is that turkey soup.
Turkey dressing, cranberry sauce. You can even slide in some whatever side hot dish / casserole you got on top. Put it between bread.
You eat a nice full turkey sandwich Thanksgiving leftovers. That knock you out in 45 minutes.
I thought that I was, I get into this thing where I like to make different kind of pizza. I have a recipe for a boudin pizza I make. It's fantastic.
You have any boudin on Thanksgiving?
I did smoke some because I got some from
That's my
spot.
guy.
I had to order some from Cajun Grocer. And that's another unsolicited plug. CajunGrocer.com. I got some boudin from the best spot, which is place in Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana. And
Southeast here.
The next day I did. So I went, could you make a Thanksgiving pizza? I thought maybe I just made that up in my head, but I was going to give it a go. We were out of turkey, unfortunately. And I looked it up. I did a Google search, Thanksgiving pizza. And there was a bunch of recipes for Thanksgiving pizza.
To be brutally honest, man, that's no different than basically like a toasted open face sandwich, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be brutally honest.
But it was like
sounds delicious.
I know people are all going to be upset about this witty banter and food and weather, but whatever. It's my show.
Why they don't eat?
There's that button called fast forward. Come on now.
Come on now.
But
Groves, Texas.
No, the sauce you use gravy and turkey gravy instead of the salt, like marinara sauce.
Yeah, sounds good.
And yeah, so I'm going to do that because we'll do you do the whole fish thing for Christmas, right? What's that called?
Seven fishes. Yeah, it's seven
fishes. So
yeah.
Do y'all have do you do another like a turkey and all that around Christmas as well, or is that just
but I don't eat that. There's way too much other stuff to eat than turkey on Christmas. I tell them every year we should not be making turkey on on Christmas. We should get turkey breasts so we can make sandwiches after Christmas dinner. Put the little post drunk sandwich. But yeah, turkey for Christmas dinner. I'm like, we should just skip it. I eat too much manicotti.
You need to smoke some of those turkey loins. Do it like I told you to. Marinate.
You know what I want to do? I want to smoke the turkey neck like that. I like the turkey. I'm telling you, that turkey neck that meat is the sweet meat. That is the best part of the turkey. I'm telling you, you got to try it. It's the best dark meat I've ever had. Oh man,
I'm not a dark meat guy, so there you go.
I wasn't either till I had that turkey neck. Woo!
But I'm gonna try that because Rachel likes to do that whole thing again around Christmas. So when
Did
I have
Rachel
all that,
make like some Minnesota hot dish for holidays? Like is there anything? Is there any tradition there from the Great North?
I'm trying to think. She made like dessert stuff, and she made cranberry sauce from scratch, which was good.
It sounds delicious.
But she made the mashed potatoes. But I usually do all the other stuff. No, she'll make the green bean casserole, but now Rachel can cook. I wasn't
sure she just did brought anything from Minnesota down to Texas. That's all.
Her entire diet has converted mostly to Texas type. Like when I met her, it's like I'll never eat guacamole. She eats it like it's going out of style, you know. She never would eat gumbo. She eats gumbo, you know.
Everybody eats the gumbo. The gumbo is great.
I don't know if there's like you're talking about hot dish, but you know, Minnesota lutefisk. There you go. She doesn't eat lutefisk. Go get you some lutefisk.
Garrett told me about that. I think that might kill me.
It's like
I think that's dangerous.
It's like at one time it's poisonous.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
he was telling me about that. I'm like, man, I don't mess around with that. I'll eat some squid.
Yeah. So anyway, all right.
So what's this? That's what, 45 minutes of just witty banter?
Yeah. Pissed a bunch of people off and no one cares. Who cares? Yeah, right. You know,
all right. Peter laugh.
You need to bolt out a big laugh for that one. All right. CREATURE COMMANDOS is out. You told me that you watched what they got? 2 episodes out?
They dropped the first two episodes, 23 minutes each, I believe.
Okay. That's doable. How was it? Give a review. Non-spoiler review.
It's good. It's good. It's not great. It feels like Suicide Squad Part 2. Okay.
I figured.
Just again, I've seen this from James Gunn. It's really nothing new, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But it's just it's good. Check it out. Some people may like it. It's just the characters are more obscure than they were in the Suicide Squad movie. So you're gonna have to dig deep. I have to dig deep. I don't know who this fishbowl chick is, so I gotta look into some of these characters. But yeah, it's good.
It's funny.
Funny, action packed, very outrageous. A couple WTF moments there. Everything you'd expect from kind of James Gunn Unleashed on Max. Yeah. So, know what you're getting into. But for me, it's all about like DCU starts with Superman. So we're like 6 months out.
Speaking of, are there any DCU references to?
Yeah. James Gunn's work is canon from what I can tell, because they mention directly Rick Flag. They mention directly Corto Maltese, that incident. Waller's heavily involved. Starfish, all that jazz. It's Suicide Squad is essentially the first DCU movie.
So they,
if just from my viewing, yeah.
Are there any mentions of DC characters other than the ones James Gunn has used already?
I did watch this at 2:30 in the morning, so if I forgot, my bad. But I don't think so. I believe they mentioned cities. Cities were mentioned. I don't know. I do not remember necessarily characters other than the ones James Gunn's used. Yeah. So I mean, especially if they've dealt with Waller,
I'm going to get to this James Gunn interview. That's the main topic, but bringing that up.
Oh, with Horowitz.
Yeah, with the canon.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's like Peacemaker is canon except for the Justice League scene. You can discard that. The Suicide Squad is canon. And yeah, it's I guess it's convenient when you're in charge of of the DCU, then you could have brought whatever you wanted from the old DCEU. Stupid.
I mean, hey, he's the boss, right? Like
Yeah.
he can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the job.
All right. I'm gonna I really liked a lot the Suicide Squad, and I tend to like James Gunn stuff. I was kind of disinterested in Creature Commandos because it's basically the Suicide Squad with monsters, right? Come on, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I'll give it a shot. I like
it's not bad at all. It's not, but if
I like
if you,
Frankenstein.
you just,
when I was a kid, I liked those old Universal movies,
Frankenstein's interesting. It's classic Frankenstein with a twist.
Yeah.
And that twist is very interesting.
Okay. I'll find out here shortly. When we get off here, I'm going to watch it. All right. So, yeah. Creature Commandos. How interested are you in what villain or villains will be in the Batman Part 2? Is that like something that you are?
Oh, for me? Oh, yes, very interesting. Ooh,
really?
Very. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
More so than more so than Batman himself.
Well, because it's new. It's I haven't seen this necessarily before. Like, what is Matt Reeves going to give me? It's like Christmas. What am I going to get? I don't know. I'm very excited for because the villain kind of sets the tone around the whole movie, okay, Riddler, murder, mystery, all that stuff, I'm sure he writes I don't know how a creative writes a movie, right, or whatever, like that's not what I do.
Here's my thing.
The villain just interests me. Yeah, of course, highly interesting.
Yeah, we all want to know what characters will be in the film, but what bothers me is this, that's like the first thing people go to is, who's the villain? This isn't this is the 60s series where it was the in thing to do a guest star spot on Batman and play a Batman villain. This certainly isn't the Burton Schumacher era where the villains were chosen and then stories were written around them, and villains for the most part outshined Batman, speaking Jack Nicholson as the Joker, Jim Carrey, the Riddler, there's always that kind
Pfeiffer.
of stuff.
You could throw Pfeiffer in there.
Pfeiffer, yeah. That it's just I
see. I don't know. I don't think of it that way though. Like
to me, it's all about Batman. It's about Batman.
Who's Batman fighting? Batman. Agreed, 100%. The story is about Batman, but what is Batman doing?
And
who is trying to bother Batman? Who's trying to?
What irritates me,
Gotham?
What irritates me more is that people are speculating villains that would make absolutely no sense in what Matt Reeves is doing. Mr. Freeze. How does Mr. Freeze fit in a epic crime saga? There's two things you have to look at. You have to look at the fact. Three things.
I'm not one of those people. I'm leaning more towards Clayface Hush.
Yeah. Look. I mean, there's really three things. Number one, Matt Reeves has said it. He said it several times. The primary focus of the Batman epic crime saga is Bruce Wayne Batman, period. Secondly, it is an epic crime saga. So what Batman, luckily, thankfully, I guess, most of Batman villains are can be adapted to be like criminals. Well, they are criminals, but you know what I mean.
I think that's the key there. Unless you're going to make Mr. Freeze go around stealing diamonds to fuel his laser ray, right? Like he's not necessarily
that's
a true criminal, right?
He's
occasionally robbed a bank to get technology and stuff, but
I
would lead more towards,
you know,
the
Mr.
less
Freeze.
probably like I think Clayface is the perfect example because you have the more grounded level Clayface and then you have the more fantastical level Clayface, and you could that character can go either way, right? And I think Reeves leans more towards Basil than Hagen. You know, if he were to use that character, you know, if there's a version of Mr. Freeze out there who could be slightly more grounded, I'm sure Reeves can work it into a story, but he's not even a character I thought about personally, seriously. Like to me, that's like a joke someone did on Twitter because they wanted a Batman and Snow movie.
Yeah.
Like to
And
me, I'm more like, okay, if it is Hush and the rumors are true and what people are saying and just the crazy fan theories that probably are the more sensible ones when you think about it now, you're like, okay, I could see how that character slides into this, because when you say epic crime saga, to me, that's still around. Like these guys are going to be a little bit more grounded, like Penguin,
well, of
right?
course they are. That's
Like
the
I think,
third point is
yeah,
that they are going to be grounded. You're not going to have a frozen Mr. Freeze.
like I
I
don't
will
expect
say
necessarily to see Mad Hatter here, right?
Mr. Freeze can be adapted grounded. He doesn't have to literally be frozen. Poison
Mhm.
Ivy doesn't have to be poisoned. However, do they fit an epic crime saga? Plus, you just had the
Yeah,
Penguin. The Penguin leads into the Batman. This is it's it's going to be that sort of stuff that fits.
like I'm
That
thinking more
fits
Black Mask. Like I'm like, is this a chance we
Black
get?
Mask.
You know,
You
so I don't have
know,
to think about the
I mean,
Gotham version.
the Court of Owls would make sense. Black Mask could work if there's a place for,
Yeah,
you know,
Court of Owls
for
is a
another
perfect example because I'm
mobster.
not even a fan of that, but like it makes sense within what I have seen
Yeah,
between the 10 hours of the Batman and the Penguin. Like it just those characters just seem to kind of fit
yeah.
in that universe with a glove, and that's cool. And I'm fine with that. And that's kind I think that's what I think that's what fans should start speculating around. Like that's more realistic than the Freeze stuff. I think the Freeze stuff is completely far-fetched. I don't think they're going anywhere near
I
Victor
always,
Freeze.
I
I would
say
not expect to see Freeze in any Reeves
no,
movies at all,
no.
to be
That's
honest with
because
you.
he was
And
doing. I know how
I'd
this stuff.
probably throw like a character like Man Bat in there too. Like I wouldn't expect to see
Man
Man
Bat's
Bat
not.
and
No,
and
there's
Langstrom in any of Reeves
no,
movies. Now, could he
no,
surprise me
no.
and throw me a curveball? 100% he could do that. But I'm not leaning that way. I'm totally leaning the
Man
other way.
Bat.
I
I
think
can
Rupert Thorne's more likely than anyone
Rupert
else.
Thorne. Man Bat. No, you can toss out characters like that. You know,
Yeah. I think you just have to use
you
common
can't even
sense
do
and
Man
realize
Bat.
what
I
you're
mean,
getting.
like I said, a lot of these Batman villains, they are grounded. They don't have superpowers, but the ones that do, it can be adapted. I gave you the example, Mr. Freeze, Clayface, um, uh, Poison Ivy. They can all be adapted to be grounded, but Man Bat can't. Okay, you know. So
Yeah.
I
But I
just
understand there's fans out there who want more of an action adventure fantastical
yes, but
thing,
then
and those characters fit that. But that's not what Reeves is getting. You're just going to have to
no,
realize that you're not going to get it.
no, and it's
You're going to get like Batman 66 meets grunge.
you know it's what fits the story, and people need to. I'm trying to educate. This is not the way things are. This goes back. Nolan did this. Is that okay? Here's the story. What fits? What character fits? We're going to bring the characters that fit in the story, not the other way around. This isn't the '90s. This isn't the '60s TV series.
It's like sometimes these studios just get a little
stop.
trigger happy and they think these movies are amusement parks and you could just throw something on the screen and it'll attract an audience and they'll come see it, and it's not like that. And you mentioned Nolan kind of steered the ship and they stayed out of the way and it worked out for them. So
Yeah.
the old regime, they definitely were heavily involved and they tried to put a lot of, you know,
Well, yeah,
painter's tape on leaks.
they
It wasn't even
wanted.
duct tape; it was painter's
It
tape.
was like what's the story that David Goyer told? I think it was and hell, I was there. It was like at the after party for the Dark Knight premiere, and one of Warner Brothers
Oh, they're
execs
like
comes up to
Leo.
Goyer and says, "Hey, you got to do the Riddler for the next movie and get Leo DiCaprio to play the Riddler." And Goyer's like, "Oh, we don't work that way," So
As amazing as that would have been when you think about it, I think Leo and Nolan would have done something pretty special if they ever got together. That would
they
be cool.
did. They
would be cool.
Inception. He was in it. They worked together in Inception. He was in Inception. So,
but I mean, isn't Coleman Reese the Riddler anyway? So that worked out for us.
Yeah, apparently. But
Mr. Reese,
just if you want to, it's fun. Let's try to guess, but do it in the context of what makes sense to the story, because you've got 11 hours basically, 11 hours plus of this universe exists now with the Batman and the Penguin.
Yeah. If you don't have a good idea of what this is all about by now, then bless your heart.
So I mean, I think, and this is just me speculating. I'm doing a little fanning here. I'm going against my advice. I usually say let the creatives create, fans fan, but we'll do a little bit. I certainly think I would imagine Harvey Dent shows up eventually Two-Face at some point. I mean, look, the freaking DA was blown to bits by the Riddler, and the Batman. So there is an opening. Job's open.
Check indeed.
I think you do something different with the character. I put it this way: I wouldn't expect to see Harvey Dent become the DA and then he's Two-Face by the end of the Batman Part 2. Too similar to the Dark Knight.
Well, all Reeves is doing is copying Nolan, right? I mean,
yeah, and maybe this Two-Face does go on to a life of crime,
Yeah,
and
that's kind of what I want.
Knight,
is I know people are going to say you got that in forever, but it was like that's not as serious.
Yeah, that fit. What Nolan did. I mean, Harvey, that all made sense. I mean, he had to die. It's just that's the way it was. That Two-Face in the Dark Knight wouldn't have gone on to become a mob boss in Gotham. That's just not the way the story played out, and that wasn't part of that Harvey. Court of Owls. There's been talk about that. I know there's some.
It's a very popular
scene
discussion
in the end of when they were at the city hall
with Hades.
And Court of Owls. People think some of the upholstery there resembled owls.
I would say at this moment in time, the two biggest ones that people talk about are Hush and the Court. Those are the two biggest
Why
ones.
Hush? Because of the character in the Batman that was the father?
Yeah, the Thomas Elliott's father was mentioned. There is the flashing of Hush on the screen really quickly. People caught on to that. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. And it just he seems kind of like a guy.
Okay, let me ask
Hush
you
seems
this.
very like a character that would fit in here.
Let me ask
manipulative,
you,
grounded Batman.
If he would, it seems to be
classic villain.
That if it was Thomas Elliott out to avenge his father, and the Wayne family, Bruce was a target, that would sound a lot like what the Riddler was doing in the Batman, because Bruce Wayne was a target of the Riddler as well as the other Gotham elites. It's just kind of, Thomas Wayne, it just would be too, in my opinion, too close to that storyline.
The Riddler's more broad. I feel like Thomas Elliott going directly after Bruce Wayne is more personal.
But we've seen that. We've seen it, right? I mean, the freaking Riddler sent him a bomb, a mail bomb. I don't know. And where does it fit as an epic crime saga? Hey, y'all, it's Bill Ramey, founder of Batman on Film. Let's take a quick pause in this podcast for these words from our sponsor.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm asking. I'm being devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
It would seem like to be with Hush, and again, I'm not a creative. It would just
unless
be,
he's the manipulator of everything. I don't know.
Let's put it in, hush, just throw him in there and we'll write a story around it. As I don't know where he fits in with Epic Crime Saga. Is he a mob boss? I mean, I don't know where all this would come in. Court of Owls, yes. Eventually Two-Face, yes. Black Mask could work. We'll see. We'll see soon enough because this thing will be filming here in about six-ish, half a year.
And don't forget, there's still the whole Joker element, right? Like Joker's huge.
Well, look, here's the thing. I mean, I have said this. I'll say it again. I firmly believe that those core characters we met in the Batman. Okay, besides Batman and Gordon and Alfred. Okay, exclude those three. But Nashton the Penguin, Nashton / the Riddler, Oscorp / the Penguin, Selena Kyle / Catwoman, and then uncredited or unnamed Arkham prisoner or Arkham inmate, also known as will be the Joker. I think we see those characters throughout this saga, on the film. I think that's the main group. I think the others are included to enhance that. I would, if I had to guess, Joker would be the big one for the finale.
Yeah, it's just fascinating to me, the Hannibal kind of style Joker they've created.
Yeah,
via the post credits, the post movie scenes, and then his little cameo there in the actual film. It's fascinating to me because he's such a big villain. You're like, when is he going to use the Joker? I feel like Joel probably is a little bummed out he never got a chance to do Joker, right? That's always like, if you want to do a Joker at some point, I feel like they all do Joker.
Well, if they had made Batman Unchained, which we called Batman shot, right? Triumphant, that apparently that was what was going to happen. It was the Scarecrow and then Nicholson,
I can't imagine not making a Batman movie and not getting a chance to play with the Joker. So
okay, there's another one. We just mentioned Scarecrow. I know there was that.
Yeah, Scarecrow could be a good fit.
The Scarecrow mask and like the claws, kind of like from the Arkham games. Were it like in the background?
They're on the desk.
And what's his name? What's his name? Julian Rush. His office, and that was, I think the production designer said that was just kind of just there to kind of get people to talk, which they did. I don't see where where's Scarecrow fit. That's why I got to know, where does it fit? He fit in Batman Begins. To
be honest, he fit in the Penguin. That's where he fit.
He did,
but we didn't see him there. So
no.
To be honest, like if you're going to say if you're going to use that line, where's he fit? Well, then he fit in the Penguin. And if that character was Jonathan Crane at one point and then they changed his name, so
I don't buy into these characters having different names. I think they either are what they are. I mean, why would he be? Well,
to be honest, the only one that he's changed is Oswald, right? I believe Nashton is a print canon.
Yeah, no, I don't mean that way. I mean, he's going by this name, but he's really this, that Julian Rush. He's really, first he was going to be Hugo Strange. Everybody said, oh, he's really Hugo Strange. Well, if he's going to be Hugo Strange, just make him Hugo Strange.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he have been, if they wanted to use Jonathan Crane, he could have easily been Jonathan Crane.
Here's the thing though. You could, you bring that up and Hugo Strange is probably the perfect example. Batman Resurrection. I mean, if you read that, if you haven't, skip forward. But Mr. Miller essentially used what was his name? He had that weird Auslander, and then it turned out he was Strange, and it was a cool little con. So if that's something they're doing, I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, that's a bad idea, because I really thoroughly, and I know different mediums, but I thoroughly enjoyed it in Resurrection.
I don't think that Dr. Jonathan Crane would be having a pseudonym of Dr. Julian Rush and working at Arkham. Why didn't he could have just worked at Arkham? I don't think they're going to, that's just too.
Unless for some reason he can't. right? Malpractice, crazy doctor loses his license. I don't know. I'm just again, just trying to
I'm
counteract
willing.
your point.
If you had to bet money, is Julian Rush end up being Jonathan Crane?
If I had to bet money, I'm not placing
Yeah.
that bet. No, but if you
No,
did place a small bet on it, I wouldn't call you crazy because
no,
I'm like,
I
that's not the
do.
dumbest thing I've
No,
heard.
I don't
That
think
makes
so.
more sense to me than Mr. Freeze is the next villain. It does.
Where do
In
we?
terms of story,
I think that that's as out there as Mr. Freeze. If he's Julian Rush, but he's really Jonathan Crane. But but I thought he was really Hugo Strange.
well, is it a reach now because you've done it with two characters? Then yes, but like I still don't think for either character it's a stretch.
It is a stretch.
Not
Just
for either.
make
I think for either character it makes sense. If you're trying to tell a story like that, and if you need them for some reason to work in Arkham for whatever reason because they lost their certificate to serve medicine or whatever. I don't know what the hell it's called in the medical field.
Why would there be that much nonsense
Why? Because they're
involved?
criminals. They do dumb things. I don't know. That's why it's bad.
How's he going to get a
Batman,
job?
not Law and Order.
How does he create? No, I don't
Just
think
because you don't like it doesn't mean it's the worst.
I think it would be dumb, and I think Matt Reeves is smarter than that. He's smarter.
I'm
He's a
sure
smarter
he is.
writer.
I'm 100% sure he is because I don't think it's going to happen. But I don't think it's the worst idea.
I think it's terrible.
And I can't wait until Matt Reeves gives us Hush and you fall in love with the character. By the way,
No,
can't wait till Reeves delivers Hush.
The character is. Look, I've said many times, Heart of Hush is Heart of Hush is better than Hush. How is this Hush 2 coming out when Heart of Hush is kind of the sequel? You just kind of ignore Heart of Hush? Whatever. All right.
Into what you do.
We're moving on. So we'll see with the villains here.
It's a much better title than Batman Justice League Kryptonite Falls from Sky. Whatever
what is that?
It's called. The Kryptonian stupid Justice League steampunk thing.
Oh,
it had 7 different names.
Yeah.
What was it? Batman
Gotham by Gaslight,
the Kryptonian
Kryptonian
Justice
Age.
League.
I had to stop reviewing that.
Batman, Catwoman, Red Hood, Gang War, Part 7 Deluxe.
All right, let's get to the main topic. Well, I guess these are all main topics, but the final topic, I'm sure they'll have the most to say about. But we had a lot to say about Batman. All I'm saying about villains is if you're going to have fun and do the fan thing and try to guess who the villain is, then number one, keep in mind that this isn't the 90s films. This isn't the 60s series where the villain was the thing and everything revolved around that. Batman is first and foremost, and try to figure out what villain fits in this story. You've got enough. You've got the Batman. You've got the Penguin now. You should know, what's going to work. I mean, Poison Ivy showing up in a freaking, wearing leaves all over her and being poisonous and turning plants and trees against Batman is not going to fit in the Batman Part 2 or in this world. All right. James Gunn did an interview with Josh Horowitz, Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. Good stuff. Did you check out the whole thing?
Watched it yet. I have not watched it yet. I just found out yesterday he did it, and I've been trying to square away time to watch it and sit down and actually pay attention.
I will say that
I've read clips at the headlines.
I've gone from being happy. I'm not happy, sad, confused. I've gone from being thought James Gunn being the head of DC Studios was a good thing to being very skeptical of his intentions to now when I see this, at least when I see this, I'm back to being optimistic. Okay.
Well, here we go. Positive Bill. Here we
optimistic. Essentially, he talks about a lot of DCU things, but the main thing would be of interest to us here at Batman on Film and to people who are, of course, listening here is what his intentions are with Batman. And Josh asked him, and I'll say this, you've got you've got to see him answer the question. Context is everything. To see how he delivers the answer instead of just seeing the written words in text. And also, Pete, some people,
body language,
Pete, just look at headlines and react completely to a headline, never even read a story. You know what I'm saying? That happens, right? Can you believe that?
Yes, I can.
So he's asked him did you ever contemplate, and he prefaces it by saying, yes, we know Matt Reeves is doing his own Batman thing. He's a unique filmmaker, and the Batman is its own deal. He said, but did you ever contemplate having that Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, be the DCU Batman? And again, this is where I come in. You got to watch James Gunn answer the question, because he smiles and he's kind of, thinking about how he answers. He says, yeah, I've contemplated it. Yeah, I contemplate everything. We talk about everything. And we've said before, of course, that was brought up at some point. We've talked about it here on this show. At some point, the idea was brought up. What about just having Pattinson's Batman be part of the DCU? And ultimately, that didn't happen for a variety of reasons. We know that James Gunn has said it's not that Matt Reeves is being allowed as much as Matt Reeves wants to do his thing. His vision is Batman. It's not part of a shared universe. Batman is it, and we respect that, right? There may be a little thing about a contract, but look, they need Matt Reeves at Warner Brothers. They need Matt Reeves at DC Studios more than Matt Reeves needs them. So, of course, they're going to, out of respect, and plus, look what he's doing, man. Look what he's doing for the studio, for Warner Brothers and DC Studios, with the Batman and the Penguin already.
Well, it all
Why
kind
the
of
hell you wouldn't want? Yeah,
James Gunn is really kind of cleaning things up. Superman and Lois has come to an end, so that's over. So now there's only one Superman, and it seems like they only want one version of these characters out there in the Matrix.
Hold on,
right?
Hold on. That's the next part. You and I both have been skeptical about the Elseworlds banner of late. And I even, in the last mailbag, someone wrote a question. I said, I am skeptical if there ever was really an Elseworlds banner, if that was just maybe to pacify the fact that you had the Matt Reeves thing coming out, the Batman, you had Joker 2 coming out, and that it would just quietly cease to exist after, but he brings up that he is committed to the Elseworlds banner.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
And I'll tell you what he says. He says, I am committed to both telling stories in the DCU and telling Elseworld stories. I want the freedom to tell Elseworld stories. We want to be able to tell a story about Superman. There you go. That's different. A Red Sun story, for example. Whatever. We need to be able to play with these characters in different ways. I think that's part of the fun of DC. And he goes on to mention that's one of the great things about DC is different versions of these characters, and unlike Marvel. So
yeah, I'm sure that stuff's on the way and it's coming. I just feel like when he's about to kick off his new shiny new universe, he kind of wants there to be a little bit of a clean slate and not kind of have all the kind of like what ifs and does that fit here, whatnot. It's just, I feel like this is the dawn of a new age, right? And this is kind of like essentially Superman starts, chapter 1 of this new book, and whatever happens after that will, I'm sure it'll make sense in its context. But I feel like he wants everyone just kind of, this is it. This is the beginning. And
at the same time, you've got the Penguin and you've got the Batman saga taking place. So
that's why, which is why we're not seeing a Batman film, James Gunn, in production yet. And I think once Reeves runs his course, we'll get more of a action adventure popcorn Marvel MCU Batman.
I believe they would be stupid. It would be business malpractice if they did not keep that Elseworlds banner alive. Because there are a lot of filmmakers, there are a lot of TV people who like would work with HBO who do not want any part of a shared universe, but are interested in doing something in the DC world.
From a creative standpoint, I agree with you. I don't think the audience cares. It's irrelevant to the audience.
And what do you mean by that?
I don't think the audience cares whether it's a a in continuity DC movie or an out of standalone. Like totally irrelevant to them. They want to sit down and watch.
And that's fine. That's a good thing.
But for an industry standpoint, I think it's a very good thing and a good thing to have, because I think, like you said, will attract various creative talent to do things that are probably a little more standalone.
Name an A-list, not Nolan. Name an A-list director.
And any director?
An A-lister.
Just
a big time filmmaker.
Denny. I'm going with Denny. Yeah, we'll go with Denny.
Denny.
Yeah. Dune. The guy from Dune.
Oh, okay.
I can't pronounce his last name. You can try.
Benaway.
There you go.
Denny. What? Okay.
Denny.
Okay. We'll go with. He comes and says, I have an idea for this. It's DC. I like to do it as a film. Here's my idea, and it's fantastic. And they go, this is really fantastic, but it's not part of a shared universe. So no, we're not going to work with you. That would be dumb. That would be stupid.
I agree with you.
In my opinion.
And there's no way they turn it down. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
If it was him and he came to them with an idea, there's no way they would turn it down.
Red, like Superman Red Sun could be a hell of an HBO series. I'm not even a Justice League guy, but sure. I've said for a long time, Kingdom Come on HBO as a series like Watchmen could be fantastic.
Agreed.
Agreed. Things like that.
We'll see. Maybe that's what makes James Gunn's universe not the MCU, right? Because it truly is multiple parts. Maybe this is what's different.
That is, there you go. What's different? What sets this new by itself, this DCU, this shared world that they want to create, which I still, different topic, but I still think they're years late, and it's been there, done that thing, and you did it and failed at it, and why, whatever. Lost my train of thought. Okay. What makes it different? So you've got this at its core. It's not really any different than the MCU. It's a shared universe with superheroes. Okay.
Yeah, it's
different superheroes. But okay, what would make what Warner Brothers, what DC Studios different from what Disney and Marvel Films are doing with the MCU is that you've got DC projects that are.
He likes to Gunn likes to compare it more to Star Wars. He likes to compare it more to Star Wars.
It's not part of a shared universe.
You got the original trilogy, then you have this Rogue One thing, and I'm not a big Star Wars guy.
But
that's what he's trying to do. It takes place in different parts within different times. You can hop in. It's one may have them before.
Yeah, but Star Wars is still one same universe. They're not different continuities, different. Yeah,
it's all one thing. Yeah, I agree. But that's what I think. That's what he's doing with his DC universe, and these Elseworlds. If they come along, they come along. But I feel like they're not a priority as much.
Well,
as
he mentions Red Sun, so apparently that was on his mind. It wouldn't shock me.
I'm sure it was.
I wouldn't shock me if that was an HBO series at some point. Gotham by Gaslight, Kingdom Come. I mean, there's a lot. And
as long as they don't get to Kryptonian Age,
it doesn't have to be something that's labeled as an Elseworld story from the comics, or the only things that can become Elseworlds on in live action for Warner Brothers or DC, whatever, or HBO. I don't know where this, the Superman, the Black Superman, that thing J.J. Abrams was. What is J.J. Abrams done anything for Warner Brothers since he signed that big deal? Is that be a co-producer on Cape Crusader?
Not that I know of. I don't really pay attention to him outside of his DC stuff.
Anyway,
and it has only been Cape Crusader.
But that's kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There was talk about HBO series with Michael B. Jordan with
this is
the Balzad Superman.
Stuff gets announced and stuff doesn't happen. So
that's but yeah, I am now. I'm a little bit cautiously optimistic. I'll be honest. The DCU stuff. This doesn't interest me. I don't have any interest in Superman at this point. I certainly don't have any interest in, whatever becomes of if even there is ever a DCU Batman. We'll see. That's
probably the only thing that would interest you. I mean, that's pretty much who you are as a comic reader. No, like you don't read like Green Lantern and Superman regularly, correct?
No, I haven't. No.
But I mean, when was the last time? Batman. It's horrible writing aside. It's always there, right? That's who you are.
When's the last thing I've read something that wasn't Batman?
Yeah.
I read Absolute Superman. Just because I was curious.
Curious. Not a hater. This one's for the haters who think you hate everything.
I read. You remember when? Remember when Jor-El came back in Superman?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'd heard about that, so I was curious.
Checked it out.
I checked that out. Yeah, but as far as a regular reader, no. Now, as a kid, yeah, I had all my comics are Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and I got a few Hulk. That'd be, I liked Hulk and I like Spider-Man, Superman, kind of number one, number two. I was a Hulk fan because of the TV series, the old CBS 70s TV series with Bill Bixby.
That's why you like Shazam and the Winnebago.
Shazam, with Mentor. Yep. I love that Saturday morning show. So anyway, I would enjoy seeing stuff, Elseworlds type stuff. And he even mentions Watchmen, James Gunn. I think Josh asked him, would you ever delve into Watchmen, like, the Watchmen world? And he said, I have a lot of respect for Alan Moore. You know how Alan Moore, you think I'm a curmudgeon. I look like freaking Mr. Positive.
Oh, jeez. He makes you look like daisies and rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah, I
know. But to be honest, when it comes to Watchmen, I mean, between the Snyder's movie and that TV show, what else can you do? Honestly.
Oh, a creative could do all kind of stuff in the Watchmen.
Right.
People, they made that TV series. Now, the TV series is a sequel to the comic book. Not the movie,
No, I know, but it's like I think both are absolutely amazing and brilliant in their own right. And I'm just like, if you think you can top it, you can try. But
let me shock here. I'm gonna shock the world. I'm gonna shock you. I already may have told you this.
You're not gonna shock me.
Okay. I think the Watchmen movie which was directed by Zack Snyder is really damn good.
Yeah,
and
the
ending is made more sense than the comic book with the giant squid.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I know that's blasphemy, but I'm gonna say that.
There's a picture of you and Zack Snyder floating around the internet.
Well, I got it on my desktop somewhere. Talked to him for 30 minutes at a Warner Brothers party at Comic-Con. That's when he told me that when Chris Nolan's done, I'd love to do Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Returns could be
he got a shot. He did an
HBO series. He got a little bit of that in there. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. The bottom line is this has got me a little cautiously optimistic for DC stuff that I would be interested in. Kind because the shared universe stuff I am not, but I would be if they did Kingdom Come and was a HBO series like Watchmen. I'd be there. And I'm not even a Justice League guy. I like that story.
I want to see what this Green Lantern show brings to the table.
I am interested in that.
Yeah, that's honestly to me, Green Lantern's more interesting because I'm more of a comic book fan. Superman is definitely the bigger priority, but Green Lantern to me sparks my interest way more than Superman.
The premise,
because it's just been so long. The premise, everything about it, the cast,
the premise of that,
Reynolds,
the premise is of it being Earth-based, and it's like True Detective. Do you watch True Detective, the series on HBO?
No, I don't.
You haven't seen any of those? It's an anthology series. Each
love
season,
it.
Yeah. Investigating a murder or I think it's a murder with Jon Stewart and Hal. Yes, as long as it's like 99% self-contained to that, and they're not, and there's not like references to Superman and Batman and all that. Just for that. Look, we are a shared universe. If it's just Green Lanterns, yeah, I'm interested in that. So so some things I would be interested in. This is one of them. The Superman movie, as of right now, I am not interested in it, and that's saying a lot because Superman the movie is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I think we're getting a trailer for it soon. Rumors are, around Christmas, after Christmas. So
yeah,
we'll see. Okay. I'd like to get a trailer.
You can do a Batman, original Batman on Film podcast episode on that trailer.
On a trailer, yeah. I'll get Haas out of retirement.
Yeah, I got a lot of people retired, huh? Haas is retired.
I think you got to make some phone calls. You know who's dying. You know who's dying again on a social hour? Who's dying again on a social hour? Justin Kowalski. Dying again on a social. He told me last night I talked to him. He's like, just have Bill just got to call me. I'm like, hey, why are you telling me? Gotta tell Bill. I'm not his secretary.
Open invitation. My schedules, you are.
Oh, please. Podcasting scheduling is the worst.
You can, you are available. Lauer's usually available. Hobby's usually available because of their, the work, y'all's work schedules. I don't have a schedule,
You do have a schedule. You schedule Batman on Film or whatever Rachel lets you do.
I'm the boss.
Got you on a tight schedule.
I am do what the hell I want to do.
Within the confines of that office, you are the boss.
I can bear. Did I tell you? I can play guitar, right? A little bit. This has nothing to do with anything Batman. No, that's talking about. I was thinking about my, now that I'm air quoting retired. I still, I do Batman on Film. I think of Batman on Film as like a part-time job, and I do other stuff. But I play guitar, but I don't play it well. I know the chords. I can play songs, blah blah blah. But I've always wanted to know how to play electric rock guitar. So I bought me a Fender electric guitar and amp, and it's on its way. And I've started to take lessons.
Okay.
So that I'm adding that to my, that's on my plate now. Besides Batman on Film, is taking guitar lessons and learning how to play.
Well, Justin's musical. You guys should do a musical social hour. You guys can rock out.
I gotta learn first. So anyway, all right, that'll do it here. So anyway, James Gunn, I recommend watch the video. Context is key, and watch the whole thing. Lots of good stuff about the DCU and even, Marvel and all that. This stuff with Marvel and the differences. It's all in there. Check it out. It's worth it. So there's a plug for Josh and his podcast. Not that he needs it from me. So anyway, with that said, Pete, anything new you got going on?
I just dropped a new episode of the Italian Spider-Man Coalition podcast. So check that out. Episode 32 covers some animations and comic books, good stuff over there. Straight Outta Gotham with Eric Holzman, straight_O_G on X. Check that out. We'll have a new episode this weekend.
What's he, the boss of Long Island?
The champion. He's
the champion of Long Island.
Arguably the champion of humanity, Eric Holzman. The greatest
champion of humanity. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, he's a fantastic. Literally, like Eric Holzman should run for president. He's got that type of following.
Okay.
He'd have rallies that would make Trump just cry in shame.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's literally, he might just be a god. But anyway, new review of Detective Comics on Batman on Film. Brian Lauer's The Batman Book Club. We cover a monthly recap show. We cover all Batman books, including the one Ryan hates the most, Catwoman and Poison Ivy, and Batgirl. He hates all female characters. Remember that. That's Ryan Lauer. Ryan_Lauer on Twitter. So make sure I got that in. And yeah, that sounds about it. I think I've attacked enough people on this podcast today.
All right. Well, I'll just say Batman on Film, batman-on-film.com. I am reviewing Absolute Batman for Batman on Film.
Enjoy that.
Check those out.
Enjoy that.
I am enjoying an Absolute Batman, to be honest. Let's see. What else? Oh, I will say, we talked about the Penguin. Pete and I broke down every single episode on this show
pew, pew.
In real time the following Monday after its Sunday airing of the Penguin. If you have not checked those out, do so. I told you the other day when you called me, I said, man, I said, I missed the Penguin, man. That was fun every week, anticipating it, getting here, watching it, then talking about it. And now we got to wait for the Batman Part 2.
Bring on Mr. Freeze and the Batman Part 2.
All right. There are going to be some people who are going to be disappointed that he's not in that film.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's just blatantly obvious. All right. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it for the Batman Social Hour. The BOF, the Batman Social Hour. Batman doesn't have a social hour. He's too busy Batman and kicking ass. Cleaning up the streets of Gotham.
I think Bruce Wayne likes to kick back a couple glasses of the apple cider.
Bruce Wayne? No, there is no Bruce Wayne. It's just Batman,
Okay. That's very Keaton of you.
Okay. Well, Rob Pattinson too right now. He's had an epiphany, so we'll find out more about that in the Batman Part 2. All right, thanks for listening to episode number 188 of the Batman on Film Social Hour. Announcer Rachel will finish up here. We will catch you next time.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.